ya. Aquí comiendo. Tanto tiempo. Y desde las 8 de la mañana. Pero no creo que haya mucho. ¿Dónde viste más gente? No, le decía que dónde vio más Estaba escuchando que como esto es de máxima seguridad, a 2 calles hay un podría entrar. Entonces ni siquiera veíamos el motor por estas calles. Ahí estamos. sea, desde el día que llegué fui a lo de la visa y me dijeron, bueno, pues llegará en 5 días antes. Y al quinto día hablé y me dijeron, vamos un poco retrasados, espero otros 4. Entonces al final me quedé una semana. Se acabó la semana, no hubo problema. Sí, estuve 2 semanas solamente ahí en México con mis padres, no tenía ningún nada. Tú estuviste en tu casa, ¿sí? Claro, claro. Sí. Hice lo mismo. Pues yo fui exactamente a lo mismo porque mi hermano también era su primera hija. Entonces, sí, yo por primera vez me tocó ver a mis papás por primera vez de abuelos, a mi hermano como padre. Somos 3, pero es la primera niña de vida. Entonces, nadie en la familia somos muy religiosos, pero la pareja de mi hermano sí es. Entonces la bautizaron, el padre. Ah, sí. Ya, va a ser Aries. Es Aries, sí, sí, sí. Bueno, fue emocionante. De regreso a la realidad. Sí, sí, la vi. Ya, ya, ya. Ya está, es lo que pues a ver, ¿qué tal nos va a aquí? Por ahí vi a Magdalena también. Pero bueno, sí, la vi por aquí. Bueno, yo aquí estaré un rato, así que cualquier cosa. Bueno, pues, mucha suerte que sea leve la jornada. Ahora nos vemos. Venga. set. You're the set.
Let me be quick. Why? Wait.
You got too much money. They say you did.
What? Another one of those? Why like that?
Got the Nazi News Network here, OAN.
Coca-Cola, no sé si quieres.
What is this? What's going on there?
Yeah,
Fun?
we saw all the stuffs with a lot of food and water
Oh,
and beats and drinking, and then we are here at the end of everything.
yeah, all those TV guys know how to do it. Dunkin' Donuts. Anyway. Yeah.
So, do you know anything about the logistics?
Driving the other side. I don't know.
So maybe
Hey everybody, welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Micah from the studio in Auburn, Alabama. Just giving you guys a quick update on where we are right now. Our correspondent is on the ground in D.C., making her way to the courthouse as we speak. She was delayed thanks to the airlines, and I'm sure many of you have been seeing that happen with airline travel thanks to the Biden economics that we're facing right now. And that's why I want to talk about one of our good friends, our sponsors today. That's Birch Gold. We are days away from the Durban Accords, the greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in the past 80 years. On August 22nd, BRICS nations, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are expected to announce the launch of a new international super currency, fully backed by gold or other commodities. This is part of their long-term plan to supplant the U.S. and the dollar as the cornerstones of the global financial system. How can you protect your IRA or 401k from the fallout from this landmark announcement? Well, you can diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which is right now. Get a free info kit on gold IRAs and decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. Text the word Trump to 989898. There is a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP, and it kicks off on August 22nd. Arm yourselves with information to protect your retirement savings. Text Trump to the number 989898 and claim your free info kit from Birch Gold. Again, we are moments away from having our correspondent here on the ground in front of the courthouse. Until then, we're going to leave you with this live look out in front of the courthouse in Washington, D.C. Micah from Auburn, Alabama, talking to you now.
Law and order. We loved it. We do so well with the Hispanics. That's right. We do so well with the Hispanics. He gets it. 2024. He told me right before you started filming. He said 2024. I'm voting for you. Look at this guy. Look at that camera. That's a big camera. Not an iPhone. Not an iPhone. It's a real camera. And look at this woman. Come here, sweetheart. We love RSBN, right? I'm telling everyone, indictment number 3 officially jumped the shark, right? It's like Home Alone 3. The first 2 were great. We loved McCully. Then he got old, he started growing hairs down here, and they found a new kid. It wasn't the same. That's what this is. Come on. Let's go.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My Caucasian American.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everyone, good to see you, America. It's another day in the Trump world. We are live in Washington, D.C., outside of the federal courthouse where President Trump will be arriving within the hour or so to go in front of a judge for yet his third indictment since March. So a third indictment just handed down on Tuesday against the former president. Of course, the former president is claiming this is election interference, that the people who are running against him, the current Biden administration, the Democrats are all trying to keep him from getting on the ballot, running for president, and winning the presidency in 2024. So yet again, another witch hunt from Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, more claims against the president. This all stemming from January 6, 2021. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like behind me. Just a lot of media here. We've seen a few protesters, but it's not too bad out here. We're at the corner of Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenue, and not a lot of people. You know, I was expecting a lot more protesters. We are in Washington, D.C., which is fairly a Democrat city, about 95% Democrats. So, and that's another issue that President Trump is going against, is he's going to court in a Democrat-run city. So, we know that we were just weeks ago in Miami, Florida, against the boxes hoax. That's the Mar-a-Lago raid, where they came in and raided Mar-a-Lago for boxes, and they indicted him on that. We were in Miami, so we saw a lot of people in Florida supporting the president, but it's a different story here today in Washington, D.C., as President Trump goes before a judge here. Now, before we get started with all the nuts and bolts and everything that we're going to talk about today, and as we wait for the president to arrive, I do want to acknowledge Birch Gold. We are days away from the Durban Accords, the greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in the past 80 years. On August 22nd, BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are expected to announce the launch of a new international super currency fully backed by gold or other commodities. This is part of their long-term plan to supplant the U.S. and the dollar as cornerstones of the global financial system. So how can you protect your IRA or 401k? I know a lot of you are worried about that right now under the Biden administration. It's a fallout from a landmark announcement. Well, you can diversify with gold from the Birch Gold Group. Now, historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which we're seeing right now. And you can get a free info kit on gold IRAs and decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is text the word Trump to 989898. Again, text the word Trump to 989898. There is a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP, and it kicks off again on August 22nd. So arm yourself with information to protect your retirement savings. We all have to do that. So do that with Birch Gold. Text Trump to the number 989898 and claim your free info kit from Birch Gold. We have Brian Glenn, who is also with us today, the reporter for RSBN. Brian Glenn is with the Trump campaign, and he is telling us right now that President Trump should be landing any minute now, within 2 minutes. So we will be taking shots from his motorcade and also be on the ground there, exclusive shots here on RSBN. So make sure you stay with us throughout the day as President Trump goes before a judge yet a third time. First, we saw him in March with the Stormy Daniels case in New York. We know that was bogus. And then it was the boxes hoax in Mar-a-Lago. We know that was bogus. And here we are yet again. You know, we're not even to 2024 yet. We have a year and a half left to this election, and we are now in front of a third federal courthouse with bogus indictments against President Trump. If you look at what the Trump campaign is saying, we're going to go ahead and let you read that off, and I'll read it off to you as well. Just after his indictment came down on Tuesday, the Trump campaign issued this statement saying, quote, "This is nothing more than the latest corrupt chapter in the continued pathetic attempt by the Biden crime family and their weaponized Department of Justice to interfere with the 2024 presidential election, in which President Trump is the undisputed front runner and leading by substantial margins. But why did they wait 2.5 years to bring these fake charges right in the middle of President Trump's winning campaign for 2024? Wrapping it up, it asks, why was it announced the day after the big crooked Joe Biden scandal broke out from the Hall of Congress? The answer is election interference, and that's exactly what it is. Now we're going to toss it over to Brian.
All right, guys, we are live here at Reagan International Airport awaiting Trump Force One here to make its landing approximately about 3 minutes or so. We should see the president landing here in front of us as we once again cover another historic event here in D.C. With the third indictment of President Trump. We are awaiting his arrival here. Meanwhile, we do have Vanessa Broussard, who is live at the courthouse, and she'll continue to bring you live coverage from there as well. Also coming up, we'll make our transition. Let me kind of unpack the schedule of events that we have planned here after his arrival at the airport. We will pack up in the motorcade. And if you wanted to, Joe, just pan a little bit to the side to show some of the vehicles that we have. We'll get into this motorcade and we'll make our way about 3.5, 4 miles over to the courthouse there, and we will set up with a potential sound from not only perhaps an attorney, but you never know. The way these things unfold, we could get a few words from the president here when he makes his departure off of Trump Force One right here where we're standing. But you're glad you're joining us today as we bring you this third historic, actually, let's get a live look right now. We've got Trump Force One about to make a right-hand turn, making its way down to us. As you can see, the president left about 45 minutes ago to make his journey here to D.C. from the Bedminster area. So we're going to head and let this, we got a Southwest Airlines plane in front of us. Once he taxis out of the way, you'll be able to see the president pull his plane up just where we are. Then we're going to hop back in the van, and we are going to circle around to the other side of the aircraft. Now you will see the plane come back into our viewing area from where we're standing right now. We're glad you're joining us, though. We want to remind everybody, go continue to follow us on social media as well. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Truth Social. Don't forget to share this broadcast. It's a very historic day in our country, and we're going to try to give you all the information that we have from the ground and also from out here. Then, of course, we'll be here inside the courtroom and what we can find out from attorneys with some possible comments there. But we are on the ground. This is in the presidential motorcade. We've got several vehicles that he will, and his team, his lawyers, a lot of the communications department will get off the plane, get in these vehicles, and then we'll make our way over to the courthouse. And of course, the president has called today a witch hunt. He has called this an historic witch hunt that's preventing him from essentially running for president, and blames Biden and the Biden administration, the Department of Justice, and the FBI for creating a witch hunt that has trying to prevent him from running. And of course, he is the presumptive candidate for the Republican Party with a sizable lead over anyone in that race. So if you think, well, presumptive nominee from the Republican Party going up against, I would expect, I guess, Joe Biden, he has in certain polls a lead on that as well. So this is nothing more than a witch hunt to take out a candidate for president and the presumptive nominee from the Republican Party. It's a plane, as you can see, is making its way into us now. We've got just a handful of media outlets that we've been able to do this with, and we're very blessed that we can provide you this historic day here in our nation's capital, as we have, what a fantastic shot of that plane coming in. And of course, it wasn't too long ago we were on Trump Force One back in Waco, as we provided coverage on that plane to that rally. But we anticipate the president and his team getting off the plane and coming off and perhaps getting a few words. I mean, a lot of times this is all up to how the president feels at that particular moment, if they have time, if they're running on schedule, if and there's nothing planned, but nevertheless, we will be there if, of course, something is if he wants to say a few words to the press. But this has been called a witch hunt, and it has been called an attempt to block the, the candidate that is in a position to win this thing. And it just comes about 2 days after the latest polls that indicate that the president is beating Biden by several points from a head-to-head on a national standpoint. Let's listen into the plane. Okay, we're going to make our way into... Wait, come on. We gotta go. All right, we're going to get back. We're going to get back into the van here. We're going to hold with this live as we're good on. We'll make our way onto the van, then we'll pull out. To the other side. We'll be able to get perspective.
Well, here supporting the president, which is good to see in a liberal city. Hey, we want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to be here today, especially Blackout Coffee. We all need coffee, especially as we head into 2024. Hey, buckle up. We're going to need lots of coffee to get through this. And if you're tired of the same old liberal flavored coffee brands, stop giving your money to woke companies that don't care about you. Go with a coffee company, an option that aligns with your conservative values. And my friends, that is Blackout Coffee. It's not enough to simply taste great. You want to be proud to support the company knowing they align with your conservative values. And that's why I'm telling you to give them a try. That's why I'm proud to personally recommend Blackout Coffee. This is a coffee company that is 100% committed to conservative values. From sourcing the beans to the roasting process, customer support, or shipping, they've got an incredible work ethic and are dedicated to promoting conservative principles and accept no compromise on taste or quality. So do me a favor, check out blackoutcoffee.com/RSBN and use the coupon code RSBN for 20% off your first order. So ditch those other guys. Blackout Coffee remains true to our values. That's blackoutcoffee.com/RSBN, or you can also use the coupon code RSBN for 20% off your first order. And if you're on Rumble, thanks for watching us there. Go to Locals. Locals is where RSBN community is located, where you get access to content you won't find anywhere else. Simply click the join button on Rumble to get started, or go to rsbn.locals.com. Again, we are just now getting started out here today in Washington, D.C. Thank goodness it's a nice, cool day with an overcast. So we're going to probably see more people arrive as the president gets closer. We have a couple of people out here, some protesters, just a couple, and also some supporters as well. Very calm, tight security. We are seeing helicopters in the sky, snipers on the building, and also, of course, security all over the premises, all over the block, and blocks several blocks down from the courthouse as well. So President Trump, if you follow him on Truth Social, he's been very vocal about these latest indictments coming against him from Special Counsel Jack Smith, who just won't give up. How does that man sleep at night with all of his lies? And I guess he stays up every night trying to find out new ways he can come up with allegations against the president. But the president saying this on Truth Social: the latest fake case brought by crooked Joe Biden and deranged Jack Smith will hopefully be moved to an impartial venue, such as the politically unbiased nearby state of West Virginia. So the president hoping that this case is moved out of Washington, D.C., which is about 95% Democrat and going to an impartial state. He says it's impossible to get a fair trial in Washington, D.C. again, which is over 95% anti-Trump, and for which I have called for a federal takeover in order to bring our capital back to greatness. It is now a high crime embarrassment to our nation and indeed the world. This indictment is all about election interference. And of course it is. You have a man, the MAGA movement is unstoppable. He's unstoppable. And so what they're trying to do is stop him. We're going to, I'm going to come over just a little bit. If you can follow me over here, I have some people moving in on me. And so I'm just going to move over just a little bit to get some breathing room. But going back to election interference, President Trump is leading in the polls on the Republican side by 40%, by 50%, and whoever's in second is not even in a close second. They're way down in the single digits.
Trump Force One, as we are moments away from the president to make his exit off the plane into the motorcade here. We'll let this play out. I know the audio might be a little difficult. We are literally under Trump Force One, but continue to stay with us. Good, good. Keep going. Back. Good, good. Roger that. Understood. You're watching live coverage from DCA. President Trump making his arrival here at the airport on his way to the courthouse here momentarily for a 4 p.m. arraignment in court on the third indictment charge. 4 new counts in this indictment. Vanessa Broussard and myself will be covering this throughout the day. She's live, posted up in front of the courthouse. And, of course, we're here on the ground with the motorcade. And as soon as the president makes his departure off the plane and gets in, we're going to follow him to the courthouse, where we'll have a few minutes with one of his attorneys, I've been told, hopefully to get some questions, maybe find out what's going on as far as the court proceedings go. And then hopefully we'll have a few minutes with the president either here. He might walk up and talk to us. We don't know at this point if that will happen. Or perhaps we'll have a few minutes with him at the courthouse or when he comes back here. So we're going to keep you updated on how it unfolds here. A lot of these types of events are very unscripted. We don't get a whole lot of guidance on what's going to happen. You get kind of a rough outline, but at the end of the day, it's whatever the president feels like he wants to do. And so if he wants to deliver a few more remarks as soon as he gets off the plane, then he might do that. Until then, we'll stand here as we provide exclusive coverage from the ground here at DCA. Of course, we want to thank all of our sponsors for today's broadcast. We just heard from Blackout Coffee, which is a great partner of today's broadcast. We've also got the Birch Gold Group, and it wouldn't be possible if we didn't have great broadcast sponsors like we have today. And we just want to thank all of them. And, of course, we want to thank you. Here's a look at President Trump making his way off of Trump Force One. Let's listen in and see if we can get a question. President Trump not taking any questions at this time. Now we will transition into back into the motorcade here. There's Boris Epstein.
Trump just now landing in the Washington, D.C. area to go in front of a judge here outside of the federal courthouse. We're on the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue and Congress, and I can see the Capitol building right behind me, just a couple of blocks away, just to give you an idea where we are located. People are starting to converge here on the block where the courthouse is located. You can see security is tight, and we have helicopters, snipers, and of course security on the ground. So far so good here when it comes to security, and everything is very calm. But on the inside, we're not happy. This is enough from the corrupt Biden family and their attempt to take over and interfere with the 2024 election. It's very clear. Bogus accusations against the president since he came down those golden escalators announcing his presidency for 2016. They have been nonstop. So here we are in August 2023. We've got to get to November 2024. So buckle up, America. We have a ride ahead of us, and this is just the beginning, I'm told, of the left's attempt to bring down their top competitor. And if you know President Trump, if you see President Trump, if you love President Trump and follow him, you know that he's not going to back down. He has said it multiple times. I will not back down. They're not after me. They're after you, the American people. He's just standing in the way. And so if he is not backing down, we can't either. And, I have to be honest with you. When I see these accusations come down, I get down. I'm like, oh, no, not another one. And then I go straight to Truth Social or Instagram, and I see him post a video talking about, I'm not giving up. We're going to keep fighting. And that pumps me up. And that's what you should do, too. I know times are tough right now. The economy's bad. Many of you are older and on Social Security and trying to make it paycheck to paycheck. Many of you are working multiple jobs just to go to the grocery store and feed your family. That's the Biden administration, and that's what they want for another 4 years. It wasn't like that under a Trump administration. America came first. Americans came first, and for whatever reason, the Democrats put America last. It is clear as day, and I'm out here today because it is proof that they are trying to bring down America and the man who wants to save this country. He is the front runner on the GOP side for the primaries, and they know he's unstoppable. They know the American people love him. They know he'll win yet a third election. And again, that's why we're out here today. It is perfectly normal, and it is not illegal. It is legal to question the outcome of an election. People do it at the local level. People do it at the state level. People do it at the national level. Everyone can do it. If you're at a local election and say your candidate loses by 50 votes, they have a recount. They question. They look into it. They make sure everything is correct, that the votes were counted properly. Everybody can do that from the local level, state level, national level, I guess, except President Trump. So it is not illegal. It's perfectly legal. And I've been seeing some videos over the past couple of days since Tuesday when these indictments came down of Hillary Clinton questioning the 2016 campaign. Why wasn't she indicted? So those are questions we have to ask. Why President Trump? But we know why. They're trying to keep him off the ballot. So again, if you look at the indictment, I read it several times. It's one of those things, and I can honestly say, in my opinion, that if it was printed out, I would do like Nancy Pelosi did in the State of the Union and just rip it up, because it's almost laughable. They're claiming that Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election, and they're claiming he lied about the outcome of the election. New details from then Vice President Mike Pence claiming that Trump tried to convince him to delay or reject the election results. That's from Mike Pence, who is also running for president. So here is a man who's running against President Trump, trying to gain his way in the polls so he too can be the Republican nominee. And so it's very clear what Mike Pence is doing. He is trying to push his way up. And I think that the American people can see that, and instead it's done just the opposite. He can hang up his career. So a lot going on, and we will stay out here with you all day. President Trump on his way. He has landed in Washington, D.C. His motorcade is on the way to the federal courthouse, and we will be right back shortly. We're going to toss to this commercial break. Stay with Right Side Broadcasting Network.
What's up, guys? My name is Jaden Hurd, and you're watching Right Side Broadcasting Network. I have a new show over there on Rumble that comes out every Tuesday and Friday called Let It Be Heard. What we do is react to videos, we analyze the culture, and we analyze politics from a biblical perspective. I think you're going to enjoy it, so I'll see you over there. God bless.
Right Side Broadcasting is known for panning the crowds, showing the packed arenas, and allowing you to see the truth. We've covered hundreds of rallies, briefings, marches, CPAC, and the historic overturning of Roe v. Wade. Right Side Broadcasting was created in 2015 by our founder, Joe Seals, creating a unique broadcasting experience that allows you to make your own decision rather than force-feeding you an agenda. We don't cut or edit people's words or twist them to fit a particular point of view. We allow our correspondents to be open about their opinions while maintaining journalistic integrity. Right Side Broadcasting wants to continue our legacy with help from people just like you. Your donations and support allow us to continue to be the gold standard in live, unedited event coverage. Help our cause by sharing our broadcasts, subscribing on our social media platforms, and supporting us on our locals community. Your monthly or one-time contributions on our website are crucial in our fight for the truth. Thank you for all of your generous support.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success. And now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
Blackout Coffee. Fresh roasted, bold flavors, serving heroes on the front lines.
Blackout!
Blackout coffee, baby!
Blackout coffee!
From the ingredients we use to the values as a company we have, quality is something Blackout Coffee drinkers expect. But where did it start? Meet John.
Our thought process in the beginning was to make a coffee for all the everyday American that works hard, plays hard, and never stops. We actually started playing around with the beans, and we came up with different types of beans to make a really strong coffee that does not give you the jitters.
My name is Doc, and I am the lead roaster for Blackout Coffee. To me, I've tried all sorts of different coffee, even the smaller independent brands, and Blackout's just different. It tastes different. And I actually came across them while working for a different company, and I could smell the roast going on, and I'm like, I need to try that one. It's not coffee, not to me, it's freedom.
Good afternoon, America. I'm Vanessa Broussard, live in Washington, D.C. for President Donald J. Trump, arriving here shortly outside the federal courthouse to go in front of a judge for yet his third indictment since March. We are here at the corner of Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenue, not far, just blocks away from the Capitol building. We're starting to see more people converge here on this block as they await President Trump. He has landed, and his motorcade is en route to the courthouse. Our Brian Glenn is in that motorcade, and we'll be going back and forth with him as they arrive here at the courthouse. We are not sure, that he may be coming up this back street behind us when he arrives and going through a back door of the courthouse. If my photographer wants to pan over there, that's where he may go. Not 100% certain, but security has the road here at Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenue blocked off, so no through traffic, no people can walk through, and they're keeping people back because this may be a route that the president takes. Again, he won't come up this street. If he does, he will take a right and go to the back of the courthouse. So we are awaiting. It should be here He should be here any minute. But again, our Brian Glenn is in the motorcade with the president as he comes to the courthouse. What a bogus accusation, right? If you've read the entire indictment, you would have to agree. And if you haven't, I encourage you to do so. They're basically saying Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election and claiming also that he lied about the outcome of the election. He firmly believes that this 2020 election was stolen from him, and we are going to have to back up. Security is making us move back. So bear with us as we're having to move back due to security reasons. Again, security is tight here, and you're going to hear me speaking now, but you won't see me because we are being barricaded off, and it's a tight squeeze as dozens and dozens of people await the president. So going back to these accusations in this indictment, I read the entire indictment, and I was sitting in my chair and almost laughed, but not laugh in a good way, laugh at the craziness that AG Merrick Garland and Jack Smith, the special counsel, are accusing the president of. And also the Biden family is behind this. Have you noticed that every time the Biden family, Hunter, the president, Joe Biden, every time they're accused of something, another accusation comes out against President Trump, it's all to cover up what they're doing. You know, have we heard lately what's going on with the cocaine in the White House? No, that's forgotten about. We'll never know who brought the cocaine in the White House from the news, but I think you and I sitting at home, you probably are 99% sure it came from Hunter. We don't know that for a fact, but who did it come from? We never know. We'll never know because they cover it up. They cover it for one day and then they move on. Oh, let's talk about aliens now, or let's talk about President Trump, or let's make up accusations against President Trump. We had one of Hunter Biden's former friends, close friends, testify before closed doors to Congress just this week about some illegal dealings that Hunter and his father had. What happens the next day? President Trump is indicted on 4 counts of bogus accusations. So it's all a witch hunt. They're moving us back again. It's all a witch hunt, and it's all to keep the president off the ballot. But he doesn't stop for us, and we're not stopping for him. Because trust me, there are many other things that I could be doing today, but yet I'm standing in front of a federal courthouse yet again for more accusations against President Trump. We're seeing police officers come. That looks like his motorcade probably pulling in right now. That is his motorcade coming through the back of the courthouse. And again, our Brian Glenn is there with them. So the president has arrived to the federal courthouse to face a judge for 4 counts and a bogus indictment. Another 4 charges against the president for doing nothing wrong. Here's a man who loves his country, who wants to save this country, and they are slapping him on the wrist because he wants to put America and Americans first. So God bless him. God bless you. We will stick with you through this all. We will stand behind the president, and we will be here through 2024. So again, we're just taking a look in as the president arrives. And again, Brian Glenn is in the motorcade. Again, we have dozens of people here trying to get a glimpse of the president, very calm outside of the courthouse. I would say a mixture of supporters, probably more supporters than protesters from what I can tell. Very surprising. I didn't know what I was walking into in Washington, D.C. with President Trump arriving, being a Democrat-run city. High crime rate. You know, they want to defund the police, but the police are out here doing what they do, to serve and protect. They're protecting us, they're protecting the president, and we thank them all for a job well done day in and day out, but they won't get that thank you from the left. But we appreciate the job of all the security officers who are out here today. But again, it's calm, very quiet. We have someone on a speaker right across the street from us praising President Trump, singing and playing patriotic music. So it's actually really good to see here in Washington. Now, when you look at other news networks, they may show you the 1 or 2 or 3 protesters that were here and make it seem like everybody was here protesting against the president, but that is not the case at all. I see more people here in support of the president than there are those protesting. I want to, while we wait on the president to walk into the courthouse, I want to bring your attention to State Rep Marjorie Taylor Greene and what she said on Twitter just this morning. She said there are a record number of homeless Americans. 300 Americans die of fentanyl daily. 63 million are killed in abortions. They tell men, and when she says they, she means the Democrats, tell men they can get pregnant and brainwash children to change their gender and amputate their growing parts. Our border is out of control, and our government refuses to secure it. Senior citizens can't survive on Social Security. Inflation is crippling everyone. But they... Again, she's mentioning and referring to Democrats. They are telling you the most important thing they are doing is indicting President Trump for January 6, 2021. And she's absolutely right. We have so many problems in America right now, whether it is our border, millions coming through illegally, bringing in the fentanyl. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, 300 Americans die every day of fentanyl. Abortions, brainwashing our children in schools and at school libraries. These Democrat-run cities are just full of violence, and they want to indict President Trump. Wake up, America. Their priorities are not straight, and they're trying to ruin this country. Again, as we wait, we want to talk about, speaking of the economy, if you're worried about your money and your IRAs and 401ks, try investing some of your money into Birch Gold. Give it a try. You know, I text the word Trump to 989898, and a representative called me immediately, and they are willing to work with you, whatever plan works best with you. And so just text 989898 to the word Trump to that number, and they will definitely help you protect your IRA, your 401k from the fallout from a landmark announcement from the Durban Accords. Diversify with gold from the Birch Gold Group. Now, historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which is right now. So you can get a free information kit on gold IRAs and decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. Again, text the word Trump to 989898. There's a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP, and it kicks off on August 22nd, just weeks away. So arm yourself with information to protect your retirement savings. Do it right now. Do it today. Scary times are ahead, uncertainty ahead. So text Trump to the number 989898 from Birch Gold. I also want to encourage you to go to Donald Trump's website. On there, you will see what's called Agenda 47. And Agenda 47 lays out his plans for when he wins office in 2024. It's a long list, and a lot of it is continuing with what he started in his first presidency. He wants to make America energy independent again. He wants to restore law and order. We talked about that just a moment ago. these Democrat-run cities want to defund the police. We want to fund the police. We want to better train the police so they know how to handle situations, so they can face anything in a blink of an eye second when they have to make these split decisions. And that's what we're seeing out here today. Is we're seeing hundreds and hundreds of law enforcement officers out here, Secret Service, security guards. We appreciate all of them. The Republicans want to fund them. The Democrats want to defund them. And again, Agenda 47 wants to restore law and order. The president also says he wants to prevent World War III. You know, we're on the brink of World War III. The president asked just weeks ago, who does he want to win the war? He says he doesn't want anybody, either country, to win a war. He wants the war to end. So he doesn't want a war. He does not want lives lost. He wants to prevent World War III. Another part of Agenda 47 is fixing and improving the economy. That's your gas that you're having to put in your car every day, going up again. If you go to the gas station this week, you'll see, pay attention, gas prices are going back up. He wants to make sure that you can go to work and support your family and not have to work 2 and 3 jobs. So you can be at home with your family in the evening. He wants to fix and improve the economy. He wants to take care of veterans, including our homeless veterans. Our veterans are not being taken care of. President Trump loves our veterans. He appreciates our veterans, and he thanks our veterans. So he wants to take care of our veterans. Also, Agenda 47, President Trump talks about this a lot in his speeches, protecting what children learn in schools and libraries. How sad is it that we even have to talk about this today? That instead of our children learning math, science, history, they're learning gender, affirmation, who's a boy, who's a girl, who wants to be a boy, who wants to be a girl, why you should change, why you shouldn't change. If you are a boy and can go to school with painted nails and a ponytail, if you are a boy and, you know, can mutilate your private parts. These are young children. They're innocent, and we need to protect our children's innocence. So the president wants to protect what children learn in schools and libraries. So that's just a little bit of Agenda 47. Again, you can go to donaldjtrump.com to read more. And you can also go there and donate to his campaign and also help him fight the liberal left, Marxist, communist, Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, and also the crime Biden family. You know, I think back to this indictment when they say that he lied about knowing the outcome of the election. Well, what about Bill Clinton when he lied live on air to the American people about having sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky? It later came out that he did. He lied to the American people that this happened in the Oval Office. I don't see an indictment on him. Never saw one. So I am calling on Special Counsel Jack Smith to look into that, and I'm hoping to see an indictment come down on that here any day now, because that's just one case. Also, another case, speaking of the Clintons, is when Hillary questioned the 2016 election results. There's video proof that she questioned the election results, thinking that they were rigged. So it's almost that everyone can question things in local elections, state elections, national elections, but President Trump is not allowed. You can hear right now, maybe you can hear it, the national anthem is being sung by a patriot here in support of President Trump. So good to see. So just to give you an idea of what we are seeing and doing right now, the security backed us up, and we are really shoulder to shoulder with other people trying to get a glimpse of President Trump. We are unable to move. It's a tight squeeze here. If we can turn, yes, some people are starting to leave now that President Trump has arrived. They were just here trying to get a glimpse of the president. So we're trying to see what our options are right now. But I can tell you that There are dozens of people around us. We're in a tight squeeze right now. Lots of media, lots of supporters. And we have supporters across the street saying free J6. And what they're talking about are the people who are there at January 6th who are still locked up in this Democrat-run city from January 6, 2021. They are not being let out of jail. And so we have people here in support of Trump and the January 6th situation chanting in the background, free Jan 6. So what we're expecting inside of the courthouse is President Trump will go in front of a judge. They will read the charges against him, and he will then plead not guilty, and that's it, and then leave. And so it's a short proceeding. It won't take long, but by the time they do the bookings, when he walks in and goes before the judge, that may take a little longer. But the actual court proceeding does not take but a couple of minutes. They will read the charges against him, where he'll enter a plea. Okay, and so now as we wait from the outside, we're going to toss it to Brian Glenn, who is on the inside. Brian.
It is tossed.
I almost want to go over there.
A live look right behind the courthouse here. As you saw, we made our way from DCA over to the courthouse. This is on the back side of it, and you've been watching Vanessa Broussard. She is on the front of the courthouse. We're back in the secure area. We are waiting for a quick interview, perhaps with an attorney, about the proceedings that are going on inside, to give us an idea exactly what the feeling is right now, maybe what the mood for President Trump is at this point. You're getting a look at some of the security now. If you're in the area and you're familiar with the D.C. area, it's very difficult off of Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenue in this area. As you can imagine, the security has been tight. There are some barriers set up. If you want to, let's swing around and look back this other way real quickly. That is obviously a few supporters, as you can see, that are gathered on this side street. That is the Canadian embassy that's in the building, as you see on the left of the flag. Now, there are some protesters. I can hear someone with a bullhorn. I'm very familiar with this girl's voice right now. It's saying that she's always here. I will say a lot of the protesters that you see here are at just about every other protest, Trump appearance in D.C. They certainly show up for that. But you're getting a live look at some of the sights and sounds outside the courthouse. We are probably about 5 minutes away or so before you can hear some remarks on this very historic day here at our nation's capital. This is the third indictment for the former president. This one seems to have a little bit more teeth. Now, the first two primarily for documents and the handling of secret documents, classified documents that were. Now, this is more angled towards January 6th, and that he tried to lead some type of insurrection due to the outcome of the 2020 election, and he has, to a certain degree, we've all seen the video. We've seen the January 6 hearings. We've seen the January 6 hearings of that the House had in regards to the January 6 Commission and how it played out in front of the country for a number of days, trying to make the case that the president was responsible for the insurrection on January 6. So the previous two indictments have to do with classified documents, but this one's particularly with a seditious conspiracy for January 6, claiming that he did have some type of role in in the January 6th insurrection. So, obviously the case is going to be made that, he was told by advisors the outcome or what was going on in the election. And he was just really putting out the message based upon what he heard and what he saw. So not necessarily claiming that he was told that he had, lost and that the outcome was unquestionably fact. And we can, as the states had certain Senate hearings and the congressional hearings with the election, of finding out some of the discrepancies in it, we saw how that unfolded. Behind me, there's a security that we came in from that direction, and we are waiting for Helena Habab to come in here and talk to us again about kind of what the president is feeling at this point. Of course, I often said, I have often said I don't understand, and I said this when I was in Pennsylvania the other night, I don't see how the president stays so optimistic in terms of what's going on right now. Now, I'm going to try to get a question in here, and I'm going to tell you pretty much what it is, that this is a witch hunt, and to what examples can they claim that this is a witch hunt? Now, this is coming off of, a couple of days that, Devin Archer came in and for a hearing with Devin Archer, plus this is coming off in historically high polling for the former president versus anybody else in the field. So he's got this massive lead right now in this race, and that this is simply nothing more than a political witch hunt to take away a political opponent, because if the primary was held today, he is the presumptive nominee from the Republican Party by far. Not even anyone close could combine with some of the polling. And of course, certain polls have the president head-to-head way over Biden going head-to-head. So this is the timing of this can really go back and play into the part of the polling and the Devin Archer testimony in terms of the business dealings with Hunter Biden. Now, if you were to put the shoe on the other foot right now, if I was to tell you that, Donald Trump Jr., Don Jr. was, met with, Ukrainian oligarchs and had money and had LLCs and were wired into several other Trump family members, and that Trump, you would actually, okay, we'll get started here in a second. We stand by as we are getting.
Everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. Please.
Okay. Jason Miller's addressing us right now.
Hi there. Alina Haba coming up.
Alina Haba coming up for a couple of questions here. How you doing?
Hi, how are you all?
Good, good.
The fact that I am standing here for the third time in 5 months is not a coincidence. This is the Biden political lawfare that we have seen time and time again. It is a deflection from everything that they have done. And if you don't believe me, look at the facts. On March 17th, Hunter accidentally admits that it was his laptop from hell. The next day, DA Alvin Bragg indicts President Trump. June 8th, an FBI document is released showing that the Ukrainians paid the Biden crime family millions and millions of dollars. The next day, the Mar-a-Lago raid and the Mar-a-Lago indictment. Last week, Hunter Biden's sweetheart plea deal fell through when the judge realized it had blanket immunity. The following day, a superseding indictment against Donald Trump. July 31st, Devin Archer goes to testify in front of the House. That was only after they failed to put him in jail prior to the fact. What happens the next day? The January 6th indictment that we're here for today. This is not a coincidence. This is election interference at its finest against the leading candidate right now for president, for either party. President Trump is under siege in a way that we have never seen before. President Trump and his legal team and everyone on his team will continue to fight, not for him, but for the American people. I'll take some questions.
Thank you. I know the president has called this a witch hunt. You just laid out several examples of that. Any other thoughts that the president has communicated to you in terms of why this is going on and why he calls it a witch hunt?
I think a witch hunt is really the way that anybody should describe this, because it's not something we've seen in our time. This is not even political. This is beyond that. A witch hunt is when you relentlessly attack your opponent, when you relentlessly attack the thing that you are most afraid of. People are afraid of somebody that cannot be bought by Washington. People are afraid of somebody who is independently wealthy and who has given up his good life to fight for this country. And that frightens a lot of politicians who are career politicians, unfortunately, because he'll get back there, and I know he'll be fighting for every one of us so that this doesn't happen to us.
You see, this case is about free speech, but the special counsel says Trump could have disagreed with the results and talked about it. No crime there. The difference is what he did to try and switch the votes.
So what is it that he did to try and switch the votes that you refer to? By bringing cases, by using the law in an appropriate manner, unlike what we're sitting here today seeing. This is not appropriate. What President Trump did is he said, go patriotically and peacefully and protest. That is an American right. That is why we are America and we are not a third world country. Although I will say that today, I don't feel very much like we are in America.
Do you believe
Yes.
this case should go forward before or after the 2024 presidential election?
I think that every court needs to look at this as a whole, right? It's not about the January 6th case. It's about the fact that in the matter of a couple months, we have seen them try and tie up, and me as an attorney, I've never seen this, tie up one individual who's running a campaign, running for office for president, so that he is in court, in depositions, and distracted, so that he won't properly run for 2024. And frankly, it's not going to work.
Is the legal team going to argue that the election was stolen?
I don't think that that's the argument that needs to be made. I think that anybody that believes that is misreading this. The truth is, as an American, there were questions that he had regarding the election integrity. We've seen documents come out, we've seen documentaries come out showing that there were issues with the election. And frankly, by bringing this, I don't think Jack Smith really thought it through. There only has to be proof that, number one, President Trump believed that this election was not completely honest. And number two, Jack Smith has opened himself up to a can of worms that we can now look at and really examine.
If you believe that he's innocent and that this is all a setup, why not bring it to trial as soon as possible before the election so that you can clear his name?
Yeah, I would love to do that, but there's something called discovery. And when somebody wants to say that the 2020 election was perfect and that President Trump has no right to object to it, we've got to go show him all the facts. And there's a lot of facts to show. So everybody has their time. And to say that Donald Trump should then be rushed and not be given the same fair proceeding that anybody else is just, frankly, un-American. It's not fair. It's not the way our system works.
A lot of the lawyers who helped him try to overturn the election are unnamed co-conspirators in the indictment. Jenna Ellis isn't. Why do you think that is?
I'm not going to speak to co-conspirators or anybody else. I represent President Trump.
Okay. Let's go one more.
Lena, there are a number of, there's testimony and there's a number of aides that have said that the president was made aware that he lost the election and yet continued to argue that it was stolen from him. How do you reconcile those two things?
Well, I think that everybody was made aware that he lost the election, but that doesn't mean that that was the only advice he was given. As anybody understands what happens in the Oval Office, there are a numerous amount of advisors and politicians and lawyers, not just one or two, that are giving you advice and telling you what they believe is true. So he may not agree with Mike Pence. He may not agree with one of his lawyers, but that doesn't mean that there weren't other people advising him exactly the opposite. And the president has a right, as every one of us do, to listen to several opinions and make their decision.
I remember hearing Hillary Clinton and Stacey Abrams argue their elections were not right. I mean, how in the weaponization of the DOJ didn't happen then.
No, of course not. But if your last name's Trump, it's very different. So Hillary Clinton could have a problem when she lost the election, and we could have a complete liberal meltdown, as we all saw. But when we have dignified disagreements, we take them to court. We say do things patriotically and peacefully. He's to blame for things that he did not himself do. And that's what we're seeing. Frankly, folks, this is not about that. This is about politics. This is about 2024. Period. The end.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. As we are live at the courthouse, a few minutes with Alina Habab, addressing the reason why we're here and some of the speculation of why Jack Smith and others are bringing this case here. Good look down there as far as the supporters are gathered, and I would imagine, based upon the amount of people, some of the signs that I can see here, flags, that there are a good amount of supporters here, obviously a good amount of opposition. This is D.C. I mean, this is one of those environments that is pretty toxic towards the president. We've been instructed to get back into the vans here momentarily, and we'll keep you updated as Vanessa Broussard is on the other side of the courthouse, bringing you the sights and sounds of what she is seeing there. We will continue to give you as much information as we have coming out of the courtroom, and just to unpack some things and fast forward just real quickly, we will end up following the president in this motorcade back to DCA, where I think at that point we might have a chance to get a few comments from President Trump. I'll keep you advised there. But until then, I'll toss it back to Vanessa Broussard, live in front of the courthouse.
I'm going to be right back in a minute.
Okay, so we are here with Michael now. Outside. He is with Blacks for Trump. You have your whole group with you. I see you in a lot of places. Talk about first what's going on here today. What went through your mind when you saw these indictments come down?
All these indictments are coming down because 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 1 through 11 said the devil will come down with great wrath when they know they have but a short time. And it said the son of perdition must be revealed and moved out of the way, who sits on the seat of God as if he is God. And that's what Biden is doing. And he's weaponized his little trolls like Jack Smith to just bring any kind of charge. All the charges he brings are telling white European Gentiles who are the deplorables that they don't have the same rights as those white people like Hillary and Mitch McConnell. None of them get charged with stuff like this here. They're going against the Presidential Act, which says that if a president makes any statements while he's president, you can't sue him or bring criminal charges against him. Like they couldn't sue, what's that guy's name, Pencilneck. They couldn't sue him because he's a congressman. Senators can't be sued. Nobody can have no criminal charge. But they're doing it against Trump because he's a white European Gentile. So he's found out that he's a black man like me. They thought only black people being treated bad, but white Gentiles who are the deplorables are finding out they treat them as bad, if not worse than us. So that's what I'm here to stop.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad to see you at so many different events and the effort that you're putting in to save this country. If people want to get involved with your organization, how can they do so?
They can call me at 786-859-9421 or go to gods2.com. That's
and that's the number 2. So gods2.com.
The number 2.
Correct.
Gods, the number 2.com.
Yes, Blacks for Trump. Thank you so much for everything. I know you're in a hurry because they want Trump to see them when he leaves the courthouse. Thank you, Michael. Yes, he's already in there. Yes. Yes. And so the proceeding starts at 4 o'clock. We are just about 15 minutes away from that beginning here Eastern time. And we are just waiting for more from inside the courthouse. But again, on the outside, a lot of people here in support of President Trump. And it's really great to see only a few protesters. We have music playing right now, music from artists singing Free J6. So again, here in Washington, D.C., a very liberal city. Didn't know what I was walking into today, but I walked into almost a Trump rally of sorts. A lot of people here supporting the president. Hey, we want to thank our sponsors. And as we gear up for 2024, we have a long way to go, so we're going to need some coffee. So let's try out Blackout Coffee. If you're tired of the same old liberal flavored coffee brand, stop giving your money to woke companies that don't care about you. Go with a coffee option that aligns with your conservative values, and that is Blackout Coffee. It tastes great, but you want to be proud to support the company knowing they align with your conservative values, and that's why I want to urge you to give them a try. I personally recommend Blackout Coffee. This is a coffee company that is 100% committed to conservative values, from sourcing the beans to the roasting process, customer support, or shipping. They've got an incredible work ethic and are dedicated to promoting conservative principles and accept no compromise on taste or quality. So go ahead and go to blackoutcoffee.com/RSBN and use coupon code RSBN for 20% off your first order. So ditch those other guys. Blackout Coffee remains true to our values. That's blackoutcoffee.com/RSBN. You can use the coupon code RSBN again for 20% off your first order. And if you're wondering what's going on here in our shots right now, we are in a tight squeeze. Security is tight, and so we have dozens of people here in this little section. We are shoulder to shoulder, and we are looking at the back side of the courthouse. President Trump's motorcade came through the street that you see here. They have it blocked off and turned right behind the courthouse. Now, security, again, is tight. We have the Department of Homeland Security right in front of us. We have police officers lining the streets. We also have Secret Service. We have snipers and helicopters flying over us. If you can see, the bicycle police officers are here, the motorcycle police. So lots of good security here, and we thank them for the job that they do. It's very peaceful here today, very quiet, just a lot of people standing around with their phones waiting to get a glimpse of the president. Now, on the opposite side, we are at the corner of Constitution Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. On the other side of the block, you do have more people here in support of the president, singing patriotic songs, having patriotic chants, sometimes chanting Free J6, meaning Free January 6th. And so it's great to see all the people here in support of the president. Now, the group I just spoke to, they have signs for the president, and they were going around the block. So when the president leaves with his motorcade, they want to make sure that he sees their signs and knows that they are here in support of him. Now, looking at this indictment, this came down Tuesday. 4 charges against the president in connection with January 6th, all bogus allegations. If you read the complete indictment, you will see word for word what special counsel Jack Smith is accusing the president of. And the Trump campaign did issue this statement immediately after those indictments came down, saying, quote, "This is nothing more than the latest corrupt chapter in the continued pathetic attempt by the Biden crime family and their weaponized Department of Justice to interfere with the 2024 presidential election, in which President Trump is the undisputed front runner and leading by substantial margins. But why did they wait 2.5 years to bring these fake charges right in the middle of President Trump's winning campaign for 2024? Why was it announced the day after the big crooked Joe Biden scandal broke out from the halls of Congress? The answer is election interference," end quote. So that was a statement from the Trump campaign immediately after the indictments came down. And I 100% agree that this is election interference, because they're absolutely right. January 2021, if something was done wrong then, why wait until now? Because they are scared. They are worried that President Trump will win 2024. And they are doing anything in their power to make sure that he is not on the ballot, that he is in jail, and that the American people will kind of push away from the president. But that's not happening. And as you see, after every bogus indictment, the one with Stormy Daniels in New York, the one with the Mar-a-Lago raid, the boxes hoax in Florida, and now this in Washington, D.C., every time they make an accusation against President Trump and every time they go after him, the American people wake up and his numbers continue to grow. So congratulations, Jack Smith. You're just, doing a favor for the president. He keeps winning with the people, and the people love him. America loves him, and we're not backing down from supporting President Trump. This is definitely election interference. He is winning in the polls. In some Republican primary polls, he's up 40%, even 50%. The second person behind him is not even close, in the single digits in some cases. Now, when he goes head-to-head against Biden, he's also winning there. They know President Trump is going to win in 2024, and this is just another attempt to bring him down. I know that. You know that. The president knows that. And what makes me more eager, I should say, to keep fighting and keep coming out here and pushing for the president is when I see their lies and attempts and scandals against him come out, and he posts a video that he's going to keep fighting, or he goes to a rally, or he goes to an event and he tells the people in the crowd, I will not stop. That makes me not want to stop. So don't give up hope. That is the key here. There is hope on the horizon. We just have to keep fighting. This is a long road ahead. We're just in August of 2023. We have to make it to November 24. So it's going to be a long road. It's going to be difficult, but if anyone can do it, President Trump can do it. But we have to keep backing him and make sure he knows that we're here for him, just like he is here for us. Again, 10 minutes out from the hearing proceedings to begin. They are expected to begin at 4 p.m. Eastern. You're looking at live pictures from the back of the courthouse. That's where President Trump's motorcade pulled in, and the president went inside from the back of the courthouse. People are lined up around several blocks here, hoping to get a glimpse of him with their phones out, just waiting. Police officers have this street blocked off. This is the northwest side, I should say, of the building, and so far, so good. All calm, peaceful, quiet, except for someone on the other side of the street with a megaphone talking to the crowd supporting President Trump. So it's really quiet and peaceful here. People hoping to see the president and hoping the president sees them, that they're here supporting him. Again, just a couple of protesters, but not doing any harm. They're just walking around with signs, but that's it. Very quiet. Brian Glenn is on the inside with the Trump campaign. Cameras are not allowed inside of the courtroom, but he is inside with the team, awaiting word as we wait for what's going on inside the courtroom. Brian Glenn will get first knowledge of that with Trump's team, and then he'll relay it to us. So it's 3:52 here Eastern Time. The proceeding starts at 4 o'clock, so just in 8 minutes as we await yet a third indictment on the president. President Trump has been vocal on Truth Social. If you're there, go follow President Trump. You can also follow me at Vanessa Broussard. I retruth a lot of his posts. One of the ones that really stuck out to me regarding this latest indictment is a truth that the president put out, saying this: the latest fake case brought by crooked Joe Biden and deranged Jack Smith will hopefully be moved to an impartial venue, such as the politically unbiased nearby state of West Virginia. Impossible, he says, to get a fair trial in Washington, D.C., which is over 95% anti-Trump, and for which I have called for a federal takeover in order to bring our capital back to greatness. It is now a high crime embarrassment to our nation and indeed the world. This indictment is all about election interference, he says. And I think he is right. It's almost impossible for him to get a fair trial in Washington, D.C., which is 95% or so Democrat, and the judges are. The jury will be, and so he most likely will get an impartial trial. And so I agree with him. Why not move it to a politically unbiased nearby state of West Virginia? But we'll see what happens here in the coming days. I know his attorneys are working hard on this case, as well as the other cases in which he's been falsely accused. And so they have their work cut out for them, but he has the best teams behind him, and so we're hoping he comes out good. You know, President Trump has been blasted and accused and just belittled since he announced his presidency in 2016. So it hasn't been easy for him. I couldn't do it, but only one person that I know can, and that's President Trump. So he's used to these accusations. He knows how to handle them. He's a very intelligent man, as you know, and so if anybody can do it, President Trump can do it, and that's why we love him. We believe that he is the man that can save this country. The Democrats know that too. The Biden family knows that too. Jack Smith knows that too. Merrick Garland knows that too, and so they are trying to bring him down. All right, as we wait for this to begin, we are 5 minutes out. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
What's up, guys? My name is Jaden Hurd, and you're watching Right Side Broadcasting Network. I have a new show over there on Rumble that comes out every Tuesday and Friday called Let It Be Heard. What we do is react to videos, we analyze the culture, and we analyze politics from a biblical perspective. I think you're going to enjoy it, so I'll see you over there. God bless.
Right Side Broadcasting is known for panning the crowds, showing the packed arenas, and allowing you to see the truth. We've covered hundreds of rallies, briefings, marches, CPAC, and the historic overturning of Roe v. Wade. Right Side Broadcasting was created in 2015 by our founder, Joe Seals, creating a unique broadcasting experience that allows you to make your own decision rather than force-feeding you an agenda. We don't cut or edit people's words or twist them to fit a particular point of view. We allow our correspondents to be open about their opinions while maintaining journalistic integrity. Right Side Broadcasting wants to continue our legacy with help from people just like you. Your donations and support allow us to continue to be the gold standard in live, unedited event coverage. Help our cause by sharing our broadcasts, subscribing on our social media platforms, and supporting us on our locals community. Your monthly or one-time contributions on our website are crucial in our fight for the truth. Thank you for all of your generous support.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success. And now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
Blackout Coffee. Fresh roasted, bold flavors, serving heroes on the front lines.
Blackout!
Blackout coffee, baby!
Blackout coffee!
From the ingredients we use to the values as a company we have, quality is something Blackout Coffee drinkers expect. But where did it start? Meet John.
Our thought process in the beginning was to make a coffee for all the everyday American that works hard, plays hard, and never stops. We actually started playing around with the beans, and we came up with different types of beans to make a really strong coffee that does not give you the jitters.
My name is Doc, and I am the lead roaster for Blackout Coffee. To me, I've tried all sorts of different coffee, even the smaller independent brands, and Blackout's just different. It tastes different. And I actually came across them while working for a different company, and I could smell the roast going on, and I'm like, I need to try that one. It's not coffee, not to me. It's freedom.
I am Vanessa Broussard, live in Washington, D.C. with Right Side Broadcasting Network. Any minute now, the proceedings will begin in this federal courthouse for President Donald J. Trump to go before a judge with 4 new charges brought against him, an indictment from special counsel Jack Smith accusing him of lying and trying to turn over the 2020 election, and this all stemming from January 6th, 2021. These proceedings will begin at 4 p.m. Eastern. It is currently 4 p.m. Eastern now, so it should be starting here. Right now, we're told it should last about 30 minutes. The judge will read the charges against the president, and a few words will be discussed between Trump's attorneys and the judge, and that's it. And then the president will leave in his motorcade back toward the airport. We'll talk more about what's going on here today, but I want to talk about Birch Gold. The economy is rough right now. A lot of people are worried about their 401ks. You're worried about your IRAs, but contact the Birch Gold Group. They'll definitely help you out with your savings. You can text the word Trump to 989898. There's a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP, and that actually kicks off on August 22nd, just weeks away. So arm yourself with information to protect your retirement savings. Text Trump to the number 989898. You can claim a free information kit. Someone will call you, a representative. They are very easy to work with. They will come up with a plan that's best for you, and hopefully give you better rest at night knowing that you are investing with a great gold company. That's Birch Gold. Text the word Trump to the number 989898. Now we're on our app, we're on Rumble, but I wanted to mention Rumble real quick. If you're watching from Rumble, thanks for watching. Be sure that you check us out on Locals. Locals is where our RSBN community is located, where you get access to content that you won't find anywhere else. So all you have to do is click the join button on Rumble to get started, or you can go to rsbn.locals.com. Again, that's rsbn.locals.com. So the proceedings are now beginning here in Washington, D.C., taking a look at the violations that they're accusing the president of. Count 1 is conspiracy to defraud the United States. Count 2, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Count 3, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. And count 4, conspiracy against rights. I almost smiled whenever I read that last one. This is just, it's almost getting bizarre. It is bizarre. It has been for years, since 2015 or so, when he announced his presidency for 2016. I mean, the accusations are just getting crazier by the day. First it was Russia. So many different accusations against the president. This is just another day in the life of President Trump. But when you start making up accusations and lying, and, it came out that the Russia hoax was completely fabricated. Why weren't these people behind it indicted? They knew that they were fabricating a claim against the president. Why weren't they indicted? Why weren't they thrown in jail? So this is just the left's attempt and the Biden family's attempt, Attorney General Merrick Garland, Special Counsel Jack Smith, their attempt to bring down President Trump. And they're going to any length to do so. It's very clear. This is his third indictment since March. Third indictment since March. We're in August. It's just never ending with them. So, how much can one person take? Well, definitely for President Trump, he can take a lot. That is a strong man, because he is handling all of it very well, and keeps telling us that he is going to keep fighting for us, and he is not backing down, and we will win in 2024. So I said it earlier before the commercial break, and I'll reiterate it. President Trump brings hope. He brings hope to Americans, to American families, to the workers out there, to the people who are struggling to make ends meet, to the people on the border who are having to worry about drugs coming across the border, illegals coming onto their property, to the mothers and fathers who worry about what their children are learning in school and in libraries. So this man wants to protect our Constitution, protect our God-given rights, our liberties, justice. He wants to protect our freedoms. He wants to protect the First Amendment, Second Amendment, and on. He wants to, bring back law and order. This man is trying to save this country, and they are bringing him down, trying to, in their best effort, trying to bring him down because he loves the country. This administration and the people behind him are clearly America last. The president and the MAGA movement is America first. If you're just now joining us, the proceeding for President Trump is underway inside the courthouse here in Washington, D.C. It is 4:05 local time. We're told it'll take about 30 minutes or so. Our Brian Glenn is on the inside. No cameras were allowed inside the courtroom, but our crew is part of President Trump's motorcade today, so you'll be seeing exclusive footage from RSBN throughout the day and also on our social media pages and on our website. So make sure you follow rsbnetwork.com. Also sign up for our newsletter while you're there. Also go to donaldjtrump.com as well. You can donate, even if it's just $1. If, 50,000 people donated $1, that's $50,000 for President Trump in his fight against this evil Biden family, the corrupt Biden family, and also the people in their network. You can also go to Agenda 47. I really like going to that portion of his website to see videos, new updated videos from the president talking about his plans for 2024 and beyond. Continuing the border wall is one item that he wants to continue. When he was president, he constructed 400 miles of wall along the southern border. That border is now wide open for just anyone and everybody to come on in and make a home in America and not come in the legal way. The president wants to finish the border wall. He wants to bring back law and order, especially to these Democrat-run cities where law enforcement officers are not respected and their jobs are hard, America. They go in every day and every night not knowing what they're going to encounter and these split decisions they have to make, and it's just hard for them. And President Trump wants to bring back law and order. He wants to make our economy strong again. He wants to make sure that we don't have to worry at night how we're going to feed our family the next day. He also wants to take care of our veterans. Look at our streets, the homeless population. You go to California and you look at all these big cities, San Diego, Sacramento, all of these Democrat-run cities that are just flooded with homeless people. That's not okay. So there's a big problem in America today that we're facing, and we have to make a change in 2024 because what will America look like if we do not win in 2024? It's scary to think about. So we have work to do ahead of us. What can you do at home? You can join Republican organizations in your community. You can sign up to be an election worker. You can sign up to be a poll worker. So there's different things that you can do to make sure our elections are run smoothly and correctly. And that's another reason why we're here today, is because he questioned the outcome of the 2020 election, which to me is completely legal. They're saying that he knew that he lost in 2020, but tried to convince people, including Vice President Mike Pence, to delay announcing Joe Biden won the presidency, and that he lied to the American people that the elections were rigged. That's what they're claiming. But I spoke about this earlier. When you're on the local level and you lose an election, you have the right for a recount. You have the right to question the election integrity, especially when America goes to sleep at night with President Trump well in the lead and they wake up the next morning and Joe Biden is president. You saw the movie 2000 Mules, all the evidence that is there of ballot stuffing, ballot harvesting. All of these ballots just showing up in the middle of the night. The evidence is there. So yes, the president questioned the integrity of our elections. And by doing so, Joe Biden and his regime are slapping Trump on the hand for asking questions and wanting a fair election process. So that's why we're here today. More bogus accusations against the president. You're looking at footage. I know we don't have a lot to show you right now. You're looking at the back side of the federal courthouse. It was a tight squeeze here. If we turn the camera around, which we can't do because it's such a tight squeeze, all you're going to see are heads, because we are shoulder to shoulder with a crowd of people hoping to get a glimpse of the president's motorcade when he leaves this court proceeding. It'll be about 20 minutes from now.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry.
All right, they were moving us just a little bit again. Stand by as we make sure that we are in a proper position in this tight squeeze. All right, I think we're good. So President Trump was indicted on Tuesday, his third indictment since March. Jack Smith, special counsel, went before America and announced these charges against the president. He claims that President Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election, claiming he lied about the outcome of the election. New details came out in this indictment from then Vice President Mike Pence. Pence claiming Trump tried to convince him to delay or reject the election results. Well, these new details are coming in 2.5 years after the occurrence on January 6, 2021. And ironically, Mike Pence is running for president as well. So again, new details from then Vice President Mike Pence claiming that Trump tried to convince him to delay or reject the election results. That didn't fare well with the MAGA movement when this came out. Mike Pence, I was reading on social media outlets, Mike Pence getting slammed by Trump supporters for betraying the president and lying about the president. Those are their words. So Mike Pence did not get, I guess, the reaction he wanted by these claims. But when you look at who hasn't been indicted, you know, Hillary Clinton with Benghazi. 4 servicemen died in Benghazi. She fell asleep at the wheel during Benghazi. She wasn't indicted. She questioned the 2016 election when President Trump won. She didn't get indicted. Joe Biden, what about his business deals with Hunter? Lying to the media, saying that he's never spoken with Hunter about these business deals. Well, Hunter hasn't been indicted either. Devin Archer just came out saying that Biden clearly knew about Hunter's business dealings, that he was on speakerphone during those dealings. Devin Archer, a longtime friend and partner with Hunter Biden, testified in closed doors before Congress. And you can also read those full articles online as well. I believe those just came out this morning, maybe late last night. Those came from Devin Archer. But again, all of this is going on and coming to light. And as soon as it does, they hit Donald Trump with more accusations. So he'll be in the limelight, and the Bidens are swept under the rug and forgotten about, including the cocaine at the White House. We haven't heard about that lately. Who brought in cocaine to the White House? They say there's no way they can tell. Well, I say that that's probably the most secure building in America, with cameras everywhere and great security and mags that you have to walk through. Mags, if you're unfamiliar with mags, those are what you walk through in an airport when you go through security. Those pick up anything and everything. So how did cocaine get in the White House? That hasn't been brought up. So there are so many different situations where the left is getting away with their dealings and their illegal acts, but yet it's all eyes on President Trump and fake accusations against President Trump. 4:15 here. We're expecting the proceeding is about halfway done. Our Brian Glenn is inside. He will get with us as soon as the proceedings are over and update us on what is going on there. And if you can listen in, it's very quiet here. Very peaceful. A lot of people just standing, phones in their hand, just taking in this historic moment of President Trump being indicted yet again. This is a historic moment. No former president has ever had to deal with these accusations. So this is history in the making today. If you are on Truth Social and you have any questions for me, I'd love to join the conversation with you and love to talk to you about what's going on here today. You can follow me at Vanessa Broussard on Truth Social. Again, that's at Vanessa Broussard on Truth Social. If you have any questions, please send those over. If you have any statements that you'd like for me to read on air or any words for President Trump. We know that President Trump watches Right Side Broadcasting Network. And so if you have anything that you would like to say, please let me know right now. Join the conversation on Truth Social. And while you're there, also follow RSBN. I'm also on Instagram. You can follow me there, Vanessa Broussard News. I post a lot of behind-the-scenes footage there when I'm out at events, covering Trump events. So that's at Vanessa Broussard News on Instagram. If you're just joining us, the proceedings are underway for President Trump, going before a judge, facing 4 charges in his new indictment that just came down Tuesday from special counsel Jack Smith. We are at the corner of Constitution and Pennsylvania. This entire block is blocked, closed to through traffic. Police officers are tight right now. They are keeping this place secure. And there are people standing on corners at the end of each block, hoping to get a glimpse of the president when his motorcade ends. Again, our Brian Glenn will be with the motorcade, bringing you live footage when the president leaves the courthouse. So stick around with RSBN for that. I will tell you, there's only a couple hundred people here. There's only a couple hundred people here. A much smaller crowd than expected. We were expecting some protesters. Only have seen a few of those, but for the most part, it's a lot of people here supporting the president and wanting to let the president actually see that he's loved, and they're here to support him. Looking at Truth Social right now. If you are on Truth Social, I'm getting a few comments already. Thank you for all of you who are commenting right now about our work here at RSBN. Thanks for watching RSBN, not just today, but every day as we continue to make our way to 2024. Programming note for the weekend, tomorrow we will be in Alabama for the state GOP dinner where President Trump will be speaking. And then on Saturday, we will be in South Carolina for their state GOP dinner where President Trump will be speaking. So after today, we'll be in Alabama with the president on Friday, and then on Saturday, South Carolina with the president. And we're pretty sure he will be speaking about his indictment today and his thoughts on moving forward. So stay with the Right Side Broadcasting Network when we cover those speeches live this weekend. You can hear it first on RSBN as he talks about moving forward past not just this indictment, but also the other 2 that have been brought up against him. We are about 10 minutes away from this possibly wrapping up. It should be well underway now. We have Patrick Johnson on Truth Social. Thanks for writing in, giving out more names of who he believes should be charged. He says Sheila Jackson Lee, Kamala, Pocahontas, he says, and other Dems should be charged using this standard. So that's coming from one of our viewers. Thank you, Patrick, for watching. We have Connie who's writing in that says, my husband and I would like to send support to our President Trump, but don't know where to send it. You can go to donaldjtrump.com. There's a contribution button, and if you can just give $2 or $3, $5, $20, whatever you can give. The president has even said, while he accepts donations and appreciates the donations for his campaign for presidency, don't go broke doing it. So if you can only contribute $1, that helps. And if, I said this earlier, 50,000 people can donate $1, that will help the president in this fight to save America. So you can definitely go to his website. Then we have Bryant saying, hi, Vanessa, please let President Trump know we are praying for him and God is on his side. America's vast majority is supporting Trump. I really like what you said, Bryant, because prayer is what President Trump needs. God is on his side. This is an evil he's fighting, an evil I can't understand and an evil I can't comprehend. It is pure evil that this man is fighting day in and day out. And so we need God on our side. God can save this country, and I think that he can work through President Trump to make sure that he is saved. So before you go to bed at night, America, pray for the president. He, again, is fighting an evil that is very hard to comprehend. All right, as we wait for these proceedings to wrap up, they're currently going on right now. No cameras are allowed inside the courtroom, but our Brian Glenn is inside the courthouse with President Trump's team. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Right Side Broadcasting is known for panning the crowds, showing the packed arenas, and allowing you to see the truth. We've covered hundreds of rallies, briefings, marches, CPAC, and the historic overturning of Roe versus Wade.
What's up, guys? My name is Jaden Hurd, and you're watching Right Side Broadcasting Network. I have a new show over there on Rumble that comes out every Tuesday and Friday called Let It Be Heard. What we do is react to videos, we analyze the culture, and we analyze politics from a biblical perspective. I think you're going to enjoy it, so I'll see you over there. God bless.
Right Side Broadcasting is known for panning the crowds, showing the packed arenas, and allowing you to see the truth. We've covered hundreds of rallies, briefings, marches, CPAC, and the historic overturning of Roe versus Wade. Right Side Broadcasting was created in 2015 by our founder, Joe Seals, creating a unique broadcasting experience that allows you to make your own decision rather than force-feeding you an agenda. We don't cut or edit people's words or twist them to fit a particular point of view. We allow our correspondents to be open about their opinions while maintaining journalistic integrity. Right Side Broadcasting wants to continue our legacy with help from people just like you. Your donations and support allow us to continue to be the gold standard in live, unedited event coverage. Help our cause by sharing our broadcasts, subscribing on our social media platforms, and supporting us on our locals community. Your monthly or one-time contributions on our website are crucial in our fight for the truth. Thank you for all of your generous support.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success, and now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
Blackout Coffee. Fresh roasted, bold flavors, serving heroes on the front lines.
Blackout! Blackout coffee, baby! Blackout coffee!
From the ingredients we use to the values as a company we have, quality is something Blackout Coffee drinkers expect. But where did it start? Meet John.
Our thought process in the beginning was to make a coffee for all the everyday American that works hard, plays hard, and never stops. We actually started playing around with the beans, and we came up with different types of beans to make a really strong coffee that does not give you the jitters.
My name is Doc, and I am the lead roaster for Blackout Coffee. To me, I've tried all sorts of different coffee, even the smaller independent brands, and Blackout's just different. It tastes different. And I actually came across them while working for a different company, and I could smell the roast going on, and I'm like, I need to try that one. It's not coffee, not to me. It's freedom.
Back America, I'm Vanessa Broussard with Right Side Broadcasting Network, reporting live from Washington, D.C., where President Trump is currently at this time facing a judge here at the federal courthouse. He is in the courtroom as they read off the violations they have accused him of regarding January 6th and the 2020 presidential outcome. Count 1, conspiracy to defraud the United States. Count 2, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Count 3, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. And count 4, conspiracy against right. So the judge is reading those violations off to the president and his lawyers at this time inside the courtroom. No cameras are allowed, but our Brian Glenn is inside the courthouse with the Trump team, waiting to get first word on what actually was said inside the courtroom. You're looking at live pictures from just outside the courthouse. We are on the northwest side of the courthouse. The road is blocked. You can see tight security all around. They're on the ground. They are on buildings. Snipers and helicopters are circling over. The president, when he arrived, did not come up this side street that you're looking at right now, but he did turn right coming up this street behind the courthouse with his motorcade and went inside the courthouse the back way. Now, I will say this, that he was indicted on Tuesday. This is his third indictment since March. The indictment came down by special counsel Jack Smith, claiming that Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election, claiming he lied about the outcome of the election, and also new details coming from then Vice President Mike Pence, claiming that Trump tried to convince him to delay or reject the election result. President Trump clearly, openly, publicly saying from day one of the outcome that these elections were rigged and that there was voter fraud. And so if you watch 2,000 Mules, you'll see videos of that, ballot boxing stuffing in the middle of the night when nobody was looking, and all of a sudden President Trump starts losing in the electoral votes as people in America were sleeping in the overnight hours. So they're slapping him on the wrist for wanting to secure our elections and question what happened that night when people were sleeping. Why was I in the lead before we went to bed and had a good outlook for in the morning, but all of these, ballot stuffings and people at ballot locations and polling locations putting cardboard boxes and paper on windows so people couldn't see what was going on inside of these tallying locations. So, yeah, there are a lot of questions, but I guess President Trump is not allowed to question what happened that night during the 2020 election. And since he did, they're slapping him on the wrist. They're trying to get anything they can on this man to keep him from running in the 2024 election. This is election interference at its finest. There's no doubt about it. There's no way around it. This is election interference. They are trying to take down the number one competitor who they know will win in 2024. As we wait for word from Brian Glenn on the inside, I do want to talk to you again, if you're just joining us, about saving your money. I know IRAs, your 401ks, if you're trying to put money away for your future. It's hard right now, you know, that the stock market's collapsing. So go to Birch Gold. Contact them today. Text the word Trump to 989898. A representative will call you, work out a plan that's best for you. You will get a free information kit and put your money in gold. This is part of a long-term plan to supplant the U.S. and the dollar as cornerstones of the global financial system, because on August 22nd, BRICS nations, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're all expected to announce the launch of a new international super currency fully backed by gold or other commodities. So if you want to protect your IRA or 401k from the fallout from this landmark announcement, you diversify with gold from the Birch Gold Group. Start thinking ahead. Plan now. Today is the day. So again, text the word Trump to 989898 and claim your free information kit from Birch Gold. It is now 4:30 Eastern Time. The hearing started at 4 p.m. And I'm hearing that it may be wrapping up. We are going to toss inside right now live to Brian Glenn. Brian? Okay, we're back here live outside. I'm Vanessa Broussard, just waiting for announcements to come in from the courthouse. The court proceeding is currently going on. President Trump in the courtroom with his team of attorneys to have these charges read against him. Now, he does speak in Alabama tomorrow at the Alabama GOP state dinner, and then South Carolina on Saturday at the South Carolina GOP state dinner. And he will surely talk about what happened today, this latest bogus charge against him, these latest indictments against him, and we'll have to wait and see what he says. But if you're not doing it already, join Truth Social. That's President Trump's social media app, and he tweets on there, or Truth Socials out his thoughts on a lot of things are happening in this country and with him, and sometimes it's during the day and sometimes it's late at night, making you wonder if President Trump ever sleeps. So join Truth Social, follow President Trump, follow RSBN, and follow me while you're there at Vanessa Broussard. And as I mentioned earlier, you can join the conversation. If you have any questions you want to ask me about today's proceedings, I'll be glad to answer that for you here live on air. Now,
Right Side Broadcasting is known for panning the crowds, showing the packed arenas, and allowing you to see the truth. We've covered hundreds of rallies, briefings, marches, CPAC, and the historic overturning of Roe v. Wade. Right Side Broadcasting was created in 2015 by our founder, Joe Seals, creating a unique broadcasting experience that allows you to make your own decision rather than force-feeding you an agenda. We don't cut or edit people's words or twist them to fit a particular point of view. We allow our correspondents to be open about their opinions while maintaining journalistic integrity. Right Side Broadcasting wants to continue our legacy with help from people just like you. Your donations and support allow us to continue to be the gold standard in live, unedited event coverage. Help our cause by sharing our broadcasts, subscribing on our social media platforms, and supporting us on our locals community. Your monthly or one-time contributions on our website are crucial in our fight for the truth. Thank you for all of your generous support.
Welcome back. I'm Vanessa Broussard here live in Washington, D.C. outside the federal courthouse where President Trump is right now facing a judge in regards to these latest indictments brought against him by special counsel Jack Smith. We're hearing that it could be any minute now that these proceedings are wrapping up. So we are close to them being finished, at which time our Brian Glenn will get word from inside the courthouse from the Trump team of what went on inside the courtroom, and then we will make sure we get that to you live on air here on RSBN. So stick with us. Here we go. Breaking news coming in just right now. Trump is being released on the condition that he not communicate with witnesses in the case except through or in the presence of counsel. So again, that's just coming in from inside the courtroom. Trump is being released on the condition that he not communicate with witnesses in the case except through or in the presence of counsel. So that is what we're getting from the inside. We're expecting this to wrap up very soon. We do now have some people chanting as that comes out that he is going to be released. We do have some protesters chanting right now. They're not happy about he not going to jail. They are chanting, "Lock him up." But again, okay, so we're getting more information breaking in right now that Trump has been told by the judge that if he violates the conditions of his release, an arrest warrant can be issued for him and he could be detained. This warning is also a routine part of any arraignment where the defendant is not detained. Also, breaking just now, the judge has asked President Trump if he understands the conditions of his release and the penalties for violating them. President Trump responded off mic that he does and then sworn to the conditions. He is now signing paperwork at the defense table. That is all coming from NBC News. NBC News reporting that Trump, if he violates the conditions of his release, an arrest warrant can be issued for him and he could be detained. Please note that this is a routine part of any arraignment where the defendant is not detained. According to NBC News, the judge asked Trump if he understands the conditions and the penalties for violating them, where the president responded off mic that he does and is then sworn to the conditions. The judge also setting the first hearing date in the case for August 28th at 10 a.m. Okay, so that's fast. And you know, Jack Smith says he wanted a speedy trial. Look, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. The judge has set the first hearing date in the case for August 28th at 10 a.m. I have so much to say. My first reactions wouldn't be nice on air. So, you know, it's terrible to know that they're doing this so quick, so fast, just to do anything in their power to bring this man down. Leave Donald Trump alone. We have a country in decline. We have Americans struggling. We have open borders. We have kids dying daily from fentanyl poison. We have people laying on the streets in Democrat-run cities. We have small businesses who are struggling to stay open. These liberal-run cities, people throwing bricks through these small businesses and stealing their merchandise. That's their livelihoods. We are a nation in decline, and all they're worried about is bringing down President Trump. Leave him alone. They're scared. They're worried. They're doing everything in their power to stop him. America, we will not stop. Get mad. Get mad today. We have to. We have to stand behind this president. We have to save our country. Not just for us, but for our children, our grandchildren, and the future generations. This is a big election cycle, the biggest election in our lifetime. And you can clearly see what they're doing. August 3rd is the date. And they are setting his hearing for August 28th. Shame on them. Can somebody grab that for me? Can somebody grab that paper for me? So it's getting windy here and the rain's coming. And have paperwork. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we had to get resituated here because we just had a big wind gust and things flying everywhere in a tight crowd. But we're being told that that date could change, that the defense is arguing that date. This is coming again from NBC News, that the defense is arguing that date, as they should. Unbelievable. And while we're thinking of this and how they're going after Trump so hard, so fast, I want to question the rhinos in office right now. You see what they're doing to the Republicans. You see what they're doing to President Trump and how dirty they are and how evil they are and how corrupt they are. We have control of the House. Impeach Joe Biden. Impeach him. He should have been impeached yesterday. He should have been impeached a month ago. Get behind Marjorie Taylor Greene's articles of impeachment and impeach the president. Give them a taste of their own medicine. They're fighting, and you're twiddling your thumbs. You were voted in by the people to work for the people. Do your jobs. He is clearly corrupt. They are going after this former president who is the front runner in this current election. And we have Republicans in office who aren't doing anything about it. And if you're at home watching this right now, I think that this hearing and this new date set for just weeks away should give you the power to pick up your phone right now, call your local congressman, and ask them, are they behind the articles of impeachment against Joe Biden? If they get enough backlash from their constituents, maybe they'll make a move. But remember, you voted them in office to do a job for you, and they're not doing it. We're still waiting on more word from what's going on the inside. Again, the judge set the first hearing date in the case for August 28th at 10 a.m. According to NBC News, that date could change because the defense is arguing that date right now. Not given much time, but that's what Jack Smith wanted. As we wait for more information, we do want to thank one of our other sponsors, Blackout Coffee. Go ahead after you call your local congressman and ask them if they're doing their job. Go ahead and order some Blackout Coffee while you're at it. Go with a coffee option that aligns with your conservative values, and that's Blackout Coffee. They are wonderful. The coffee tastes great. They support the American dream. It's a company that aligns with your conservative values. That's why I'm telling you to give them a try. I personally recommend them. Blackout Coffee is a coffee company that is 100% committed to conservative values, from sourcing the beans to roasting the beans to customer support to the shipping. They've got an incredible work ethic, and they are dedicated to promoting conservative principles, and they accept no compromise on taste or quality. If you go to blackoutcoffee.com/RSBN, use the coupon code RSBN for 20% off your first order. So get rid of the other guys. Go to Blackout Coffee. They remain true to our values. That's who we have to support. blackoutcoffee.com/RSBN. You can use the coupon code RSBN for 20% off your first order. All right, still awaiting word from inside. We're hearing from the Daily Wire that Trump did plead not guilty to the charges brought against him. The president has pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against him. So running down what we know right now, the president has pleaded not guilty. The judge has set the first hearing date in the case for August 28th at 10 a.m. according to NBC News. The defense is arguing that date right now. The judge informed President Trump that if he violates the conditions of his release, an arrest warrant can be issued for him and he could be detained. But this is also routine for a case like this. The judge asked President Trump if he understands the conditions of his release and the penalties for violating them. The president responded that he does and is then sworn to the conditions. He then signed some paperwork. Again, Trump is being released on the condition that he does not communicate with witnesses in the case. Okay, we have some movement now. Looks like people are coming out of the courthouse. They're filing out right now. We're going to take a look and see what's going on. It's looking to be that the court hearing has wrapped up as we see people exiting the courthouse. The people here standing witnessing this historic moment are starting to get a little more vocal out here as we see who is coming out of the courthouse right now. So stay with us with these live pictures as we wait. We're going to listen in and see who's walking out.
Make a hole, guys. Make a hole. Make a hole. Let them get up. Okay.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Thank you, sir.
I know this guy. I know him.
That's it.
I know him. Oh, he's a newscaster.
Meetings have ended. We're also hearing that President Trump can waive his appearance at the next hearing. So we'll see what happens with that. We're being told, as you can see, people filing out, that the hearing has ended. Here come the police officers as Trump starts to leave the courthouse and get in his motorcade back toward the airport to leave Washington, D.C. Our Brian Glenn will be with the motorcade, so you will be seeing live pictures on RSBN as President Trump makes his way back to the airport, leaving the courthouse. And again, we're just going to listen in as more people start filing out as these proceedings end.
This way, sir.
You got me? All right, let's go.
So let's go over everything inside of the courthouse today.
As the proceedings have just wrapped up and people start exiting the federal courthouse here in Washington, D.C., President Trump did plead not guilty to the 4 charges brought against him in this latest indictment stemming from the 2020 election on January 6th. He pled not guilty. He is being released on the condition that he does not communicate with witnesses in the case except through or in the presence of counsel. According to NBC News, the judge informed the president that if he violates the conditions of his release, an arrest warrant can be issued for him and he could be detained. This warning is also a routine part of any arraignment where the defendant is not detained. So remember that. This is common in a case like this. According to NBC News, the judge also asked President Trump if he understands the conditions of his release and the penalties for violating them. The president responded off mic that he does and is then sworn to the conditions. He then signed paperwork at the defense table and is exiting now with his attorneys and his team members. The judge set the first hearing date in the case for August 28th. He can waive his appearance at the next hearing, and we'll see in the coming days what happens there. A terrible day in America. Jack Smith getting his way and rushing this case because he is doing everything in his power to bring President Trump down. He said he was going to expedite the process, and it is clear by setting the first date for August 28th. Shame on him. Lots of people here with their cameras up as the motorcade gets ready to leave here from the federal courthouse. Police officers gearing up, lights on, sirens on. If you missed it earlier, we did have an interview with President Trump's attorney that is now currently on our website and on social media pages. You can go back and look at that to see what she has to say about today's hearing. Again, that is on our website and also on our social media pages. So the motorcade is leaving on its way to the airport, and you'll have live pictures here on RSBN of the president leaving, exclusive pictures. So it's 4:51 here local time in Washington, D.C. That's 4:51 Eastern. The court proceedings were set to begin at 4 o'clock. The judge came in the courtroom just minutes later and read the charges to President Trump, in which he pled not guilty. She set the next hearing date for later in August. So we'll see what happens there as his defense argues against that date. We'll see what happens in the coming days if they can get that date moved back. He can waive his appearance if he wishes to do so. And I'll just have to say, this is a surreal moment for me, and I'm sure it is for you at home too, because this should not be happening. This is just a waste of time, resources. It's unbelievable that these false accusations can continue to be had against a man for election interference. This is election interference, trying to bring down the left's top competitor. This day should not be here. I should be home with my family, and everyone else here should be as well. The law enforcement officers who are out here protecting us and protecting the president will be here to defend the president and to back him. We always will be. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, every day. But we shouldn't have to be, and that's the key. That's how corrupt our justice system is right now. Two-tier justice system. It's a Do as I say, not as I do. The left gets away with everything. They're not being indicted. But let's make up false accusations against President Trump and indict him on bogus charges, one after another, 3 times since March. If America does not wake up, we are in big trouble. All right, you're looking at live pictures of President Trump's motorcade and also live pictures from outside the courthouse. People are still standing around, taking it all in. This is history in the making. Never done before to a former president. And a programming note for us here on RSBN, we will be in Alabama tomorrow for the state GOP dinner where President Trump will be speaking. So make sure you tune in for that. We will have live coverage of his speech, so we know he will bring up this latest indictment and probably have some words on what's ahead for him in this case. And we'll also be in South Carolina Saturday for the state GOP dinner there where President Trump will also be speaking. So stay with RSBN throughout the weekend. We have live coverage with President Trump in Alabama and South Carolina. So make sure you are tuned into our RSBN app, rsbnnetwork.com. That's rsbnetwork.com. Also on Rumble. Don't forget to sign up for Locals on Rumble, where you can get some behind-the-scenes exclusive content there as well. And also on Truth Social. So we're going to keep the footage here for now. And then we're going to turn the camera around to give you a glimpse at the crowd behind us. So it is thinning out just a little bit to give us a little bit of wiggle room. So we are, I think, able to move the camera around real quick, so we will get a glimpse, finally, of some of the people here.
Criminal insurrectionists broke into the Capitol. That's what happened. And our quote-unquote...
So this has been what's going on behind us. Some people here for Trump, some people here protesting against the president. But a huge flag right here, you can see, says "Finish the Wall, Trump 24." And across the street, we have patriotic music playing with the American flag and a lot of Trump supporters on the other side. Now, what you're seeing right here are 2 protesters who are here because this is where the media is and they are wanting to get on the news. So that's what they do, right? They just want to be seen. But most of the Trump supporters are on the other side of the street. And as you can see, they got their way because a reporter stopped and talked to them. So I'm telling you the truth here on RSBN. This is what happens. And so the media will say, oh, there were so many protesters. There's not. But they converge. The 2 or 3 or 4 converge by the media, get their 2 or 3 minutes of fame, and then they mosey on. But to give you a real idea of what it's like out here, tons of Trump supporters, tons of people here supporting the president, only a few protesters. President Trump making his way back to the airport. You're looking at live pictures now from our crew in the motorcade. The president pleading not guilty with an August 28th hearing, which is tentative right now as his defense argues that date. Jack Smith saying he wants to rush this trial. Of course he does. He wants to bring down the man that can save this country. The only one who can, in my opinion. So we'll let you kind of listen in to the sights and sounds outside of the President Trump hearing here in Washington, D.C. We're about 3 to 4 minutes out from the airport as President Trump leaves the courthouse, jump back on his plane to get out of town, which I can't blame him. All right, and so I think that now that President Trump is close to the airport, we can probably check in with our Brian Glenn now. Is that correct?
You're a hard-working lady.
All right, we are just moments away from going to the motorcade live with Brian Glenn, who is with President Trump and his security detail, as well as his attorneys and Trump team. So stand by for that. That should be here any minute. President Trump getting very close to the airport. So stay with RSBN for these exclusive photos. And thanks for watching as well. We support the president and we support his love for America, and we appreciate him, and God bless him, and God bless all of you at home as well. In this fight, we're all going to get through it together. All right, we're going to toss now live to Brian Glenn
from the motorcade as we make our way into the airport area. Thank you, Vanessa Broussard, giving us providing continual coverage of this indictment here in D.C. live from outside the courthouse. We are just, looks like, a couple minutes from kind of pulling up to where we saw this take place earlier. It may take a little bit of time to get these vehicles in positioning, obviously, to get President Trump in front of Trump Force One to make his way back on the plane. Now, I have been told there will be a quick statement by the former president, and we'll see what he has to say about perhaps the takeaways from earlier today. Maybe take a few questions as well. At this point, we just don't know. But you're taking a live look at from the motorcade as we make our way up to the airport. We're in a press vehicle, so we've got several outlets that are with us in here as well, all covering today's historic event here in D.C. Today being the third indictment on the former president in regards to January 6th, the other two specifically on mishandling classified documents. If we want to sit there and shoot back this way, you'll get a chance to look at Trump Force One. It is starting to rain, and it was coming down on the way here to the airport. So the weather being a little bit of a factor, perhaps, on whether or not the President Trump will take any questions or not. Obviously, he doesn't want to necessarily stand in the rain and do this. But I've been told we are going to perhaps do this underneath the wing to provide a little bit of shelter. That's a great look that you have right now of Trump Force One. Let's see if we're going to be making our way out of here. Bear with us. We are live here at DCA Reagan International Airport. I'm going to pile out of here. Wait for my camera, Joe, to meet me out here. The rain is coming down a little harder than normal. Now, this is one of those situations where we're going to try to get up here as quickly as possible to get in position to be able to cover the president making his exit from the vehicle. Make our way in here. There we go. All right. As you can see, they positioned the media here just from the stairs. Of course, the president is in the vehicle and he's going to make his exit, I would presume, with the help of an umbrella as the rain is starting to come down out here. We appreciate you watching us. We are live at DCA Reagan International Airport covering this historic day for President Trump. A third indictment in regards to January 6th. We'll have full post-event coverage on our social medias as we start to go through some of the proceedings of the hearings today, and we'll push that news out. As a reminder, please go check out our website, rsbnetwork.com, rsbnetwork.com. Sign up for our newsletter. That is a great way to get information pushed out to you as it happens. And today is a great example for that. You can download our app as well to stay up to date on what's going on in terms of President Trump. We're moments away. He will exit the vehicle. Hopefully we'll come over here, take a few questions from the press here, and perhaps make a statement. Now, granted, we are just, here he comes right here. The audio might be a little tough because we are just underneath this plane as he makes his way up to us.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very sad day for America. And it was also very sad driving through Washington, D.C. and seeing the filth and the decay and all of the broken buildings and walls and the graffiti. This is not the place that I left. It's a very sad thing to see it. When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot. So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Do you want these trials to happen?
President.
Mr. President!
Delivering a couple remarks as he makes his way up the ramp, and he iterated again, this is a political persecution of a candidate for president. This is not on any factual basis. It's a purely a political move. And he did make a comment about the state of Washington, D.C. driving in. And of course, I spend quite a bit of time here in D.C., so I can echo what the president is saying in terms of the condition of this city, seeing the graffiti, seeing some of the buildings being decaying. We've been told we've got to wrap up and go back into the press gaggle, or the press van rather, and make our way back. Quick shot of some of the advisors making their way. Jason Miller, the communication team as well, making their way back on the plane. I see Boris Epstein as well as they return to Bedminster. We're going to wrap up our broadcast right now. I want to thank our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. They have been a great partner in all of this. So right now, don't forget to text the words Trump to 989898. Text the words Trump to 989898. That is the Birch Gold Group. We are so appreciative of them doing this. And we talked about the economy in a lot of broadcasts. I would imagine he talked about that during today. So go check it out, friends, over at the Birch Gold Group. Real quickly, I'll leave with this shot, guys. I'll toss it back in the studio, and you guys can sign off. What a beautiful look that is here at our nation's capital. Programming note, we will be live from Alabama GOP coming up here tomorrow, actually, and then also going over to the South Carolina GOP as well, as we make our way, continue to follow all of the events around President Trump, as we have been told to wrap it up here by the advance team here in Washington, D.C. So, Brian Glenn saying so long from our nation's capital with our full coverage of today's events here in Washington, D.C. Saying so long. God bless. Until next time.
What's up, guys? My name is Jaden Hurd, and you're watching Right Side Broadcasting Network. I have a new show over there on Rumble that comes out every Tuesday and Friday called Let It Be Heard. What we do is react to videos, we analyze the culture, and we analyze politics from a biblical perspective. I think you're going to enjoy it, so I'll see you over there. God bless.
Right Side Broadcasting is known for panning the crowds, showing the packed arenas, and allowing you to see the truth. We've covered hundreds of rallies, briefings, marches, CPAC, and the historic overturning of Roe v. Wade. Right Side Broadcasting was created in 2015 by our founder, Joe Seals, creating a unique broadcasting experience that allows you to make your own decision rather than force-feeding you an agenda. We don't cut or edit people's words or twist them to fit a particular point of view. We allow our correspondents to be open about their opinions while maintaining journalistic integrity. Brightside Broadcasting wants to continue our legacy with help from people just like you. Your donations and support allow us to continue to be the gold standard in live, unedited event coverage. Help our cause by sharing our broadcasts, subscribing on our social media platforms, and supporting us on our locals community. Your monthly or one-time contributions on our website are crucial in our fight for the truth. Thank you for all of your generous support.
My employees and I are excited to announce it's our 20th anniversary, and to celebrate, we're bringing you a limited edition MyPillow. The Giza Elegance MyPillow is made with the most amazing cotton, 2-inch pipe gusset, comes in 4 custom loft levels, and it's machine washable and dryable.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. That's why we've been around for 20 years, because MyPillow works.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary MyPillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, only $19.98.
With my 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
Blackout Coffee. Fresh roasted, bold flavors, serving heroes on the front lines.
Blackout! Blackout coffee, baby!
Blackout Coffee! From the ingredients we use to the values as a company we have, quality is something Blackout Coffee drinkers expect. But where did it start? Meet John.
Our thought process in the beginning was to make a coffee for all the everyday American that works hard, plays hard, and never stops. We actually started playing around with the beans, and we came up with different types of beans to make a really strong coffee that does not give you the jitters.
My name is Doc, and I am the lead roaster for Blackout Coffee. To me, I've tried all sorts of different coffee, even the smaller independent brands, and Blackout's just different. It tastes different. And I actually came across them while working for a different company, and I could smell the roast going on, and I'm like, I need to try that one. It's not coffee, not to me. It's freedom.